Donna Nelson, welcome to day 20 of Rooted in Wisdom, a daily dose of Donna. Today I'm talking to you about feeling at home in your body. So, what does that even mean? So, if you are new to a daily dose of Donna and my Rooted in Wisdom series, this is about you getting a little science and soul on the daily. So, whether you want to up your game in business, have better relationships, make more money, and have more abundance in all areas of your life, improve your mental, physical, and emotional well being, and be more spiritually connected in your journey to wholeness, then you need to know how to get there. And it's going to take a foundation that is rooted in a little science and soul. So, thanks for hanging out with me on the daily. I am the life and empowerment coach for business leaders, innovators, and conscious change makers who want to lead from within. So today, talking about feeling at home in your body. And what do I mean by that? Well, I say this pretty often in clients that I work with. And being a trauma-informed coach, it's always so I guess I could say I always feel really good for having that trauma training background and having experienced so much of this stuff in my own life and having learned some tools and some really important modalities for how to heal this stuff and become so much more in tune with myself, with my body, with my mind, with my emotions, and really being in touch. And one of the things that I see that many of my clients are experiencing is this kind of separateness, feeling like being a separate entity, like seeing themselves and their lives as separate from their body. And there's a multitude of reasons why that can happen, either happen kind of suddenly or happen over time. And trauma is one of those experiences that can cause us to immediately feel separate. And depending on the significance of the trauma, it has our body shut down because that's a protective mechanism. So one of the other reasons, though, that this could happen, that we can feel really separate from ourselves, kind of disconnected from feeling that sense of belonging, really being in tune with our mind, our body, our emotions, what we're experiencing at any given moment, and feeling connected to everything going on around us. Besides trauma, it could be from chronically repressed emotions, feeling an extended period of loneliness and depression. All of those things can cause us to kind of numb out and feel separate from. And so, and again, when I say about feeling separate from our body, this doesn't have anything to do with body image. That could be a symptom over time, but that's not what I'm talking about. This is not about, this is about feeling comfortable in your skin. This is about accepting you as a person and having a visceral sense and connection to your body and your emotions and being able to identify meaning at any given time by being tuned in to your body. So it's about how we feel about ourselves from the inside out. And it requires us to feel connected doing the work from the inside out as well. So how do we feel more at home in our body? And one of the ways that we do that is, I'll say, to integrate and metabolize. Those are two ways of doing this. And well, the only way that I know how to do that. There's lots of tools to do it, to get there, but you have to integrate and you have to be able to metabolize. So kind of in the same way that we metabolize our food if we use it that way, right? We metabolize our food. Why? So that we can get the full experience that our food is for, to nourish us, right? So when we metabolize our food, it breaks down all of the little nutrients for us to be able to use and to feel satiated. Well, it's kind of like that with our emotions. We have to be able to metabolize our experiences, those negative experiences that happen on a day when we're angry or we feel overwhelmed or we're really sad or frustrated. And it could be emotions that we just get too excited, right? Like we're just so overwhelmed with the good that is happening, and then we just have a panic attack, or we are overzealous and we're too forward and pushing forward towards something that needs to have a slowed down process. So again, because we're overjoyed or over sexualized or over positively excited. So it doesn't matter if they're negative emotions or the other end of the spectrum, where it's positive excitement. I'll just put it that way. They all have to be metabolized to bring it to keep us at an equilibrium, so that we don't, because either one of these could turn into feeling like I'm too much, or I'm not enough, or unworthy, or rejected, or whatever those things can turn into when we either feel like we're not belonging or that we're too much for something or someone. So being able to metabolize those negative feelings, or those feelings as they show up, is important. So one of the ways that we do that is through this integration process. And the integration is kind of the slow down and notice. So in integrating, we're noticing what just happened. So let's say something triggered you, or you just got really upset about something, or someone. Being this awareness and tuning in immediately to what's going on, noticing what just happened, literally running it through your mind, what just happened, and then saying what showed up. So what showed up for you in how you felt? What were the emotions that showed up? What was your reaction that showed up? What were the thoughts that went through your mind? How did you physically act? Did you shut down? Did you throw something at somebody? Whatever it is, right? So you're looking at what showed up and then how you reacted mentally, physically, and emotionally. And some of these things just happen automatically. Again, and they're going to happen automatically because of past patterns and experiences that cause us to just be that way. And also our brain's primitive response to react when something is exciting or threatening or whatever, in that way. So you're assessing those things, and then you're looking at how you reacted. You're assessing what meaning does it have. So in this process, you're not judging, you're noticing. And this is what's going to help you metabolize and not build up these stressors that cause us to then feel disconnected and separate. So when you're asking yourself, what meaning do you give that? It's just an evaluation. It doesn't matter if it's true, if it's good, if it's bad. And then you're asking yourself if you can reframe it. So how could you reframe it so that you could have a more empowering perspective? So these steps are going to allow you to metabolize stressful events from the get-go, instead of having this a whole day event, a whole week event, a whole month event, a whole year event. Whatever it is, everyone will be different. in how long it takes for you to eventually feel separate, and not really feeling at home in your body. So I hope that was helpful. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this and thinking about, yes, the clients that I work with, that I see this and we have to do this experiencing and really noticing to get back in our body, because we can't experience this wholeness of our desired self if we can't feel. And so many of us have tuned out because it just doesn't feel safe to feel anymore, because we don't know how to process those emotions. So it can be scary tuning back into our body, allowing ourselves to feel, either because we could be so angry, we're afraid of our own reaction. So we continue to suppress anything that might come up. Or we could be the opposite. We're afraid to feel feelings of elation and things that feel good, because of our fear of being hurt and being let down. So we don't allow that to happen. So then in relationships, either at work or in intimate relationships, we aren't emotionally available, and then we don't have that vulnerability and that ability to connect in meaningful ways to people. Everything is on the surface, and then nothing feels genuine. And you continue to feel isolated and disconnected and not at home in your body, and feeling mind, body, emotions, spirit all connected. So particularly in the heart. So we need to be able to feel our feelings to get to that place, to get to that breakthrough of wholeness. So if you need support in that way, you should sign up for my upcoming program that starts on February 11th, Breakthrough to Wholeness. I'll drop the link. See you next time.